Hi, welcome to One Acadiana's Candidate Conversation Series. I'm Keely McGivney, and this is Andre Bro here on the team at One Acadiana. We're bringing you candidate conversations so that you can get to know those who are running to represent you for offices across Lafayette Parish.
That's right. And for this conversation, we're joined by Councilman Andy Naquin, candidate for re-election to City Council District 2. Andy, thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all very much for having me with y'all this afternoon. I surely appreciate it.
Well, let's get started with the basics. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the community.
Okay. Well, I'm basically a lifelong resident of Lafayette. I moved here in 1957 with my family to a small gravel road on the outskirts of town called South College. And of course, we know it's developed into today. So I've seen the city grow from what it was to what it is. Went to school here, educated at a Lady of Fatima school, 12 years there, and spent 7 wonderful years at UL earning a bachelor's degree with almost enough hours for a master's. So I thoroughly enjoyed my education. Worked in many jobs over the years here, in particular 3 main jobs with General Electric, Hillby and Lumber, and Doug Ashley Building Materials, and building material sales basically the whole time in my career. Met my lovely wife Peggy here, and we've been married 43 years. Had 3 daughters, and now they've blessed me with 3 grandchildren. Well, 2 and 1 on the way in October. Two grandsons, and then we have a daughter on the way, granddaughter on the way. So getting used to these little boys as opposed to raising 3 girls was a challenge, but it's one that was well met with smiles and cheers, you know. My whole life has been focused on Lafayette. I've been basically a resident of District 6 all my life, living outside District 2, I should say, because it was District 6 at one time when we consolidated. I did serve that council area and then moved into District 2, which is just basically the center of Lafayette. It's always been a holy district that was all city residents, even though it's a consolidated government with just one city parish council. Mine was the only district that represented all the city. So I'm very familiar with the area and very familiar with the ongoings and the workings of this area. But what can I say? I love Lafayette. I love what I'm doing here.
Well, great, and it's great to get to know you more, and kind of continuing on that note, it's a great transition to the next question, which is what initially inspired you to run for city council?
Well, having been here basically all my life and never really left the city and never moved out of this area, I've been so embroiled in what's going on and watching what's coming forward. I was encouraged by friends and neighbors to get more involved with the city government planning and things that were moving forward. I had a great concern being involved in the building industry for 44 years with the direction things were going and planning and things that were moving forward. And I wanted to see something better for the future generations, for my children, for my grandchildren. So the concern came that why sit back and watch? Jump in and get involved, especially with you have people that say, you need to get there, you need to go, you know, and the encouragement there helped a lot. I was never much one to jump in front, but my job always entailed one of service. So because of that, and this goes hand in hand with serving on the council, it's a service job. So I've always been involved with people and trying to solve their problems, trying to move forward with initiatives that help and develop. So it's been a fun experience, and every day's a school day. I learn every day, you know, so it's always interesting. I'm never bored with my job.
Let's dig into some of the issues. As you look ahead to another term, if you are reelected, what are some of the priorities you hope to address? And we'll start with the short-term issues. What are some things you hope to address in the near term?
Well, in near term, short term is mostly has to deal with the service and the infrastructure and the things, the quality of life we give to our residents in my district. We have a lot of expansion going on. The new Lafayette High being constructed. With it, we'll bring a new set of problems as far as dealing with roadways and infrastructure. We still have some drainage issues. District 2 is a really very mature district. It's been pretty well wholly developed. There's not much unincorporated land here, or land that's been undeveloped, and I should say, in this district. There are some pockets of parish, but most of this district is mature. So the big thing is to make sure we keep our infrastructure good. We wholeheartedly reach out to our residents to deal with their issues that they have moving forward, such as zoning problems and things along this line. But in particular, to make sure that we have the proper resurfacing, police and fire protection, water, sewer, all these things have to be taken care of. I mean, you'd be surprised the myriad of little problems that we run across, which are many and mounts and can be insurmountable sometimes, it seems. But in working with the people of the district and the administration and the directors, we always find solutions, and there's always a way to get there. We just got to find the door to walk through. It's kind of like pick door 1, 2, or 3. Well, we keep looking for the right door, and that's my job. That's what I do.
Well, great. And so if we continue down this line and we think, years in the future, as you think about District 2, as you think about the city council, are there long-term issues, long-term challenges you feel the city council needs to stay focused on in the coming years?
No doubt. I mean, we have, of course, as we develop, one of the biggest issues, as you all know, and y'all have had to be dealing with over the years, is the drainage problem. So the more concrete we put down, the more water runoff we have to deal with. So those are some of the things that we have to focus on. And it's a major, major issue. And as y'all know, it's not just a Lafayette area, it's a regional area. It goes all the way from Ville Platte all the way down to the Bay, Vermilion Bay, and encompasses, St. Mary Parish and everybody, Acadia Parish. It's a big issue. So those is one of the main things we have to deal with. They have to focus on those things and how to move people through this area. There's so many developments coming forward thanks to one Acadiana's involvement, the Metropolitan Planning Organization. There's a lot of things happening that I'm involved with that I really have fun with and enjoy working with the Transportation Policy Committee and getting things done to make sure in our future we still have the pleasures of life that we have, safely operating around here, and trying to create an infrastructure that's going to handle all the new new cars coming in, the roadways we have to deal with, getting around this city, which unfortunately we never did have a bypass. Ambassador Caffrey was originally supposed to be our bypass, and look what happened to that. I remember well when it was first built and New Flanders Road no longer existed, and Ambassador Caffrey had no lights. That was a time when you could really get around the city fairly quickly. But today we have a lot more to deal with, and moving forward, we have to worry about our growth in a manner that's going to be realistic and yet still pleasurable to the people that live here. We can't basically throw ourselves on top of each other and expect us to be happy. We have to really take into consideration the cares of all the residents and citizens of this area and the businesses too. I mean, without the business, that's the lifeblood. We don't have business, we don't have jobs. We don't have jobs, we don't have residents. So everything works hand in hand. And I love this area because you know what? We have people here willing to work together. And that's something I always see. People reach out, they try to help each other. I mean, how often do I go in the grocery store and there's somebody out there reaching out and trying to help someone else? It never stops, just wherever you go. So we have a lot moving forward. We have a lot working ahead. Big part of this is a lot of what they do in the development department is getting grants and the funds coming through, spending our tax dollars properly, the oversight there. So we have some challenges in front of us, but I think we'll be able to meet them. There should be no problem because we have a good cooperation between the residents and the administrations, and that's everybody here in the Lafayette Parish, really.
Well, you mentioned the growth of the city as an economic development organization. That's something we love to see is growth, population growth, and more people moving into our area to enjoy our area. If you were talking to somebody who was interested in moving into the city of Lafayette, what would you tell them about our area?
Try us, you like us. I've never had people come here that didn't enjoy the ambiance and the things we have to offer. I mean, we're not a huge city as far as it goes in square miles, but we sure have a lot to offer. If you're an outdoorsman, if you're a hunter, if you enjoy just the plays, the music, we have a little bit of everything here. We have the food, we have the festivals, we have the celebration, we have the joie de vivre. This city offers a lot to everybody. We also have the knowledge and infrastructure. We have fiber, we have CGI, we have a lot going on as far as technologies. We're a medical hub. We have great university here in UL. There's just so much we have moving forward that this city is an enhancement to anyone's life. And then once you get involved, once you move here, everybody's going to put out their hand and say, welcome. And that's the part I love about this city the most. I mean, I can go anywhere and you don't have the friendliness that you have here. It's a wonderful place to be. I've been blessed to have been here since, let's see, it'd be 66 years now. And it's been a wonderful time, you know. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Roots are planted deep here, and I think people would find that once they get here, their roots will grow very deep themselves. Great place to raise a family. Good atmosphere and a lot to be involved with. You know, we have a lot going on here that's a positive.
Speak directly now to the current residents of City Council District 2. What would you tell them about why they should vote for Andy Naquin for City Council?
Well, I've basically been in this district all my life. My people know me and I know them. I'm very accessible. They run across me all the time on the street, shopping in the areas, at functions, events. They ride by my house on bicycles and stop to speak with me in their cars. I'm a neighbor and a friend, you know, and I know the problems of this area in this district, and I'm very amenable to helping them with their problems. I try not to turn anybody away from their issues. I mean, grant, some people sometimes create their own problems, and it's hard to fix those when the creator is yourself. And I know I've done a few of my own along the way, but that's why I ask for forgiveness from God for those. But as far as for the constituents here, I'm always reaching out to try to assist anyone I can with any advice or any mediation between myself and the administration and the various departments. Because sometimes I got to be out there and got to be their eyes. I'll go on site and go look at things. I mean, when somebody calls and says I have sewer smells, you know, you're not going to get that over the phone. You got to go figure it out when you go out to the site. And it works. You know, I'll get out there and meet with some field supervisor or somebody, and we figure out what the problem is and we move forward. It's just, they're usually a simple solutions to every problem. You just got to look for them. I like that old expression, KISS, you know. I'm sure y'all know what that acronym stands for. So if not, then we'll figure it out.
Well, thank you so much, Councilman. We really appreciate your time today helping the community get to know you better. And that leads very well into our final question, which is, how can voters further engage with you? How do they get more information?
Well, of course, they can reach me through the council office quite easily. There's the number there, 291-8800, and leave a message. Email is andynaquin@LafayetteLA.gov. Or they can reach me on my cell at 337-298-2802. That's the easiest way to get there. And I'm always out there. Or come to Adrian's and shop with me.
Well, that sounds good. And thank you again so much for your time. Everyone, that was Councilman Andy Naquin joining us. He's a candidate for re-election to Lafayette City Council District 2. Councilman Naquin, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck in October.
Thank you, Andre and Keely, both. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to work around the schedule with me. And y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.